Got a slightly new setup here. So I decided to reorganize my colored pencils. And I have had this, basically this sort of artboard. It's got a clip on it. My clip up here. If you can see the little clipper. I decided to take all of my colored pencils and put them on this thing. And then this thing just sort of goes on top. Because I want to do more colored pencil stuff. Also want to do more watercolor lately. And gouache. Gouache. I haven't finished page 8 yet. So page 8 is here. I still have that final panel to do. But I always get a little nervous around reaching the end of a page where I don't have another page ready to go. So I thought what I might do is go ahead and get the next page started. I've got some kind of random scribbles on here already. That is a little mental trick I'm playing with myself. You put little random scribbles on there and it's easier to draw on than if it were a blank piece of paper, theoretically, in theory. I hope. All right. And we're about to... I've done these quick scene changes over the last couple of pages. And in a sense, I'm going to change scenes again. Not really change the scene. I mean, they're on Arcadia now. Where else? I'm going to give it another layer. And we're just going to give it a shot. So I want to first start out as they're traveling. Whoops. Traveling. Big panel. And for some reason, I did it asymmetric. I did an angled line, which I didn't mean to do. So let's fix that. Let's do... This is a rule of threes nonsense. Right? So we want to put our characters either here, 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 something like that. Maybe not both of these. If we make this leg forward, maybe this one's in the back, and that means this arm is forward. And then perspective-wise, we'll put maybe Abrax is smaller. I'm looking at his arm stance and I'm thinking it's all wrong. How about put this one here and then we need something way up here in the foreground, you know. I'm gonna have Hondo kind of flying around up above. You know, maybe in the background. You know, like we might even reduce this smaller. Or you know, what we could do is let's go and put them on one of the focal points. And by the way, these focal points could easily change, just because the addition of speech, text bubbles, etc., are likely going to change them. It's likely to happen. But Okay, so we have, this is the premise here of what's going to happen on this page. They're heading through the wilderness of Arcadia and talking about why they're here. And Abrax is going to say, well, where are we going? And he's going to point to this mountain, which is Lycaon. And Lycaon's actually a mountain in mythology. It's where Zeus was born, but it's also where I think there's like an evil king, Lycaeus, who sacrificed a son, I think, and the punishment was getting turned into a werewolf. So I have this other werewolf character, Isolde, and I thought, well, it's just too good of a coincidence to have, you know. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's take Hondo out of the picture. We'll put Hondo back on the shoulder. Um, I need some kind of over the shoulder shot where he's pointing at the mountain. So I might have to, figure out how to show the mountain. See if I have any good visual reference here. I'm sure such a thing exists somewhere. And, he's pointing at it and he goes, I think, or no, maybe, how about this? Even better. He's not sure. Let's have it that he's not sure why. And we'll have the mountain in the background. And maybe he's saying something like, well, I just thought this would awaken some kind of memory. And then, because in mythology this always happens, a bird messenger lands talking bird and gives some kind of note. Let's have the bird right in this one. This is why I had to take. He's holding his hands out right here, and the bird drops right down. With a note. And then last panel, he's holding the note. I'm like trying to figure out how to get. These are thumbs. And it'll have come to Mount Lycaon, right? And of course, what's happening, what's going on is the bird is a fake. It's like it's been summoned by Stardust, and he's going to get to the top of Lycaon. So we got to show that. We got to show the mountain in this scene too. And he's going to go up the thing, and then when he gets to the top of the mountain, that's when Stardust appears, and there'll be some other trap there too. We got to make it really hard, right? So maybe there's something that stops him, like suppresses his powers, or maybe something like that keeps him from flying. And then we have this sort of death duel going on. And the wild card, of course, will be Abrax, which we're gonna like make a point of showing that Abrax is really just a mortal. He's not that powerful, but Abrax somehow is gonna have to be the one that saves the day. No, wait, like that. So he's holding the note. Now I get that this is super rough and we'll have to probably tighten this up over time. I don't know if you can even see it. I can reduce this down. All right, here they are walking up the mountain. Bird messenger. He says the bird has a note. He unrolls the note. When he's holding the bird, the thumb is on the outside, right? There's the mountain again. And you can kind of get really, really iterative with the art. You start as scribbles, but then your next layer goes over it and you've kind of expanded a little bit. So that's a good draft. I mean, it's a 4-panel page. There's not much going on here, but setting it up for a really cool thing. Plenty of story going on. All right, now that we've done all that, let's go ahead. Let us go ahead and figure out what's to be done. What is to be done for this page? I can tell that I'm probably going to be cleaning up. It doesn't look as good as I'd hoped it would look, one of those things. That's okay. That's okay. You get it looking as good as you can get it. I'm wondering if his pose is weird. Anything bad about it? Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and drop the pencil out. I think one of the problems is I don't like the angle of his eyes. That's a little bit more dynamic here. And in my case, dynamic just means what does it mean? It looks more active than passive. I like his chin. It's a little bit better. He always had kind of a button nose, so. Oh, a little bit of a smile. Not a huge smile, just a little bit of one. Like you get the sense, you should have the sense that these guys are friends. And it's a developing friendship. Like they've been through one adventure together already, the one on Pellucidar. And now they're newly liberated. Okay, but I do have an issue, and that is this is tiny. That's not big enough. Unless I have a lot of background details, like what's going to happen here? Well, I've got this whole thing going on. And I'm loath to do a big foreground, small background trick because I already did it. I already did it like 2 panels ago. I'm going to have to do some reference for cartoon monkeys. Like Gloop? Not Gloop. What is the monkey on the Wonder Twins? They had like a monkey sidekick. Also, his legs are completely wrong. Monkeys have short legs, I believe. Was Gleek the monkey on that? I wasn't far off. Or did I say Gloop? There's Gloop and Gleep from the Herculoids, which is totally different. Alright, so they have long arms. So I think that's where. Oh, that's about the length of the arm, should be like something like that. Alright. Alright. And I know I have him gesturing over here in the pencils, but let's go ahead and take that out. And redraw him. Last time, Hondo had to fight somebody, he transformed into this giant gorilla with wings. But I want to like expand his. Well, maybe I should stick with the same couple of forms so that people get used to him, and then kind of surprise you later if I keep using this character with different forms or something like that. I was at work and somebody said, "Hey, I bet you don't know who Beanie and Cecil is." And I'm like, "I know who Beanie and Cecil are. It's an old 1950s television show. Comic book was put out by Dell." Like I knew exactly who it was, and they're like, "Oh, I just read about it." Beanie and Cecil. It was like an old, like a really old television show. Beanie, I think Cecil was the sea serpent. Beanie was like the friend. All right, hang on. How does that look? I don't like his eyes. It's the only thing I don't like. All right, so Now we gotta remember he's got wings. Maybe instead of doing the second wing out that way, I'll do it this way. Not like I did that line. Now one wing is bigger than the other. Okay, well, we gotta... Why? All right, I can fix this. I can fix this. It's because the pencil lines are throwing me off. All right. All right, how about this? Okay. Now this is a grand opportunity to show more of the background scenery, but also maybe we start to hint at the mountain in the background. Mount Lycaon. Second of all, I know I just said I didn't want to do it, but I want to put something in the foreground in this corner, and I probably should do it somewhere else other than this corner. Well, let's do it. Something not too invasive. We could do a tree root or a rock, you know, something like that. This must be like a forest clearing, so. I know in my original pencils I have sort of the lingering effects of magic, which I still could probably draw in there, but maybe be a little bit more subtle about it. And, you know, ta-da, we gotta put a little, like, these are like shining marks, like he's shining. Ta-da! All right, we'll figure it out. Been watching a lot of YouTube videos about watercolor. All right. And of course, I have not done my speech bubbles yet. Speech bubbles will put everything into kind of, I say put it into perspective, but perspective is a word we use to mean an actual thing. It'll put it into a better, you know, sense of composition, I think, I feel. But we want to get a little bit more granular with our textures. So we don't just have these kind of thick lines kind of sitting out in the middle of nowhere, unsupported. And if I go too far, I might ruin it, which is, I don't want to do that either. So, worst comes to worst, you just erase the whole thing and redraw it, which I'm not above. But I think we're okay. I think we're actually kind of in an okay place to at least do, let's at least do some speech bubbles and just see how they come out. All right, I'll never get used to that as the first line. And, oops, bro, on the bubbles layer, please. Thank you. And we've integrated right into the corner. So let's give it a shot. It's slightly too big, but you know what? Let's go ahead and put it here. I mean, it's got a lot of air in it. It's not, I don't know, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. How about this one? Too much room on the bottom. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Probably would like, I think he's got a sound effect too. So, but we could do a sound effect on the transformation. What's a good sound effect? I should put it on a different layer. How would we do it? Let me think. It's definitely not a wham or a bang or a sizzle. Sizzle might be, crackle might do it. I kind of imagine it as bells ringing or shimmer. Shimmer. How about that? All right, let's do it. Okay, let's do it this way. We're going to go back into the pencils, right? I'm on the pencils. I'm going to write something like that. Then we go into the ink layer, but actually we're going to go into the hatching layer or layer 21. Let's do it on layer 21, okay? Shimmer, and it's got two M's and two R's and two I's. This is where I need somebody like Evan to spot me because he's so good at this stuff. I gotta figure it out. I'm putting the words out of alignment on purpose. Let's just take the pencils back out. Shimmer. Ah, that's looking good. Okay, so it doesn't stand out enough, so what we got to do is now we got to throw in some three-dimensionality here. Our three-dimensionality in this case is going to be below and to the right. Back and to the right. And then in certain parts of it, I'll do a white outline. Okay, and when I say certain parts, I mean right here. And that's looking pretty good. Shimmer like that. All right, let's fix his speech bubble. Could it be? Could it be? I know we're at 32 minutes. Let's stick with me to the end. Stick with me to the end. I think we done it. We did the last. All right, come on. Come here, you. We are effectively done with this page, and we have a beginning outline of the next page. Now, what I did next, I got to do to make it make sense. It needs to have the lettering in it before we start really doing our quote unquote penciling. I say quote unquote because it's digital, not because my penciling is that bad. Maybe it's not great. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. Come on now, you got to give the kid a chance. Give the kid a chance. He's doing his best. All right, here we go. Helps be humble. Be humble, though I stumble. What was it? All right, I got some weird stuff going on over here. I don't know what it was I was thinking. I'm thinking this was going to be like a tree branch, like an olive tree or something. But I may have to do some studies of olive trees. Arcadia is a land that's kind of based on Greek mythology. It's use enough. Stuff. All right, we're not there yet, but it's going to continue. I'll continue this after the video is over. But there it is. There's our whole page. Check in on it on Instagram at rabbitfighter13 on Instagram. I post all the pages so you can read them and follow the storyline. Prometheus Powers is a lost titan, and it's its own original storyline, but it's very much inspired by and influenced by Greek mythology and the Marvel family. If you know anything about the Marvels, this would be like Captain Marvel Jr. kind of. Looking good. All right. All right. I think we are kind of getting somewhere. That's good. There's the print size. This has got to go, whatever the hell that was. All right, please like, follow, and subscribe. Keep on rocking. Comics every day, baby. All right, talk to you later.